Okay, welcome back, guys. In this video, I'd like to do one machine on the Vulnhub together with you, which is Nully Cybersecurity. The link will be added into the description section below so that you can download and play the machine. I think this machine is anything but easy, which involves a variety of techniques like brute forcing, the pivoting. This case, pivoting is very important technique. I think you know what pivoting it means, right? And we can use Metasploit to do such pivoting. For example, we can set up the portfwd by the metaparameter of the Metasploit. However, based on my experience, the Metasploit cannot work very well in this case. Afterwards, I will show you what I mean exactly, and also involves like exploitation of web application. So there will be a lot to take. I recommend you do this machine of your own. And here is another hint, which is also very important. We need to generate the custom list by this command. Okay? Before we go ahead, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. You're greatly appreciated. So enough talk, let's just get started. We can switch into the Kali Linux VM. Above all, we need to discover the IP address of the target. The utility I'd like to use is netdiscover. As you can see over here, the IP address of the target could be identified as 117. So maybe we can copy this information onto our notebook. And the Kali is 133. So next we need to do the port scanning and service scanning at the same time with a map. To save time, I've already done that earlier. So for now, we just get out the result of a map scanning. As you can see over here, I use the option like scene scan, the version scan, the default script scan, followed by the -p- to do the full range port scan. And the last option for all would be on to output the result into this file. Before I move forward, I'd like to say this video will be going on for a bit long time because there will be a lot to take. So from the map scanning, we can tell that the target has several open port numbers. The first one is 80, which is running HTTP service. And the next one is 110, which running at POP3 service. And the next one is 2222, which is running SSH service. And also the exact version number of OpenSSH. Of course, as we know, this version is not vulnerable. And the next one is 8000, which is running ledgers. And the last one is 9000. Of course, maybe the nmap cannot make certain its version of the service. All right, so what are we going to do next? We need to do the enumeration with HTTP service first. And let's start off our enumeration by opening the browser to do the manual enumeration first. Press enter. Here give us some information about the machine itself. For example, like about, use Docker, so do not attack. Maybe we can copy this information. So the requirements. Okay, do not attack. And next one. So this company has 3 servers, and our goal is to get root access on each of them, okay? Or to get 3 flags. Servers, the mail server, the web server, and database server. So do not attack this these 3 port numbers and don't use kernel exploits. Don't brute force root passwords. All right, and also give us the credentials to connect to the email server. As we know, the target is running POP3 service. POP3 is for receiving mails. Okay, so we can copy this information. So immersion, right? So the pen tester. So next, I think we can start with collecting the POP3 server. Okay, and because we will use normally we use the client, some sort of client the GUI client to connect to the mail server, but in this case we will use the command line, and I think the commands of the POP3 are not very difficult, but maybe you need the help from the internet. As you can see over here, POP3 commands like user, password, and the list mails, and then we can retrieve the message or mail. Okay, I will add the link into the description section below as well, so you can reference to this resource. Okay, so now we can connect to the target via POP3 service, and we can use netcat or maybe telnet is fine. And okay, ready? So we can use user command to specify the username. Username should be this one. We can copy and press enter. And okay, password followed by this one. We can copy very long passwords, and then we can paste in here. Login, and we want to list all mails on the server, just one at this moment. So then we can use the command retrieve to retrieve mail, and followed by the index of this mail. As you can see over here, there is hello, I'm Bob Smith, the Nully Cybersecurity mail server administrator. So the boss has already informed me about you and that you need help accessing the server. Sorry, I forgot my password, but I remember the password was simple. So I think we can exit from the mail server. Now, next, I think it will involve brute forcing. And but of course, just now in the description of the machine of the machine is this one. We can generate the word list. So then we do not need to use a huge locky word list to save the time. Okay, and the passwords dictionary. So sorry, and I need to access local locu word list grip Bobby passwords. I need to double check. I think it's correct, and we can check how many words of this word list. About 2,400, much smaller than locu. So next we need to create the username dictionary. User names, and I think from the mail we can know that possible usernames would be, the first one would be Bob, and Bob also Smith, and Bobby, and Bob Smith, something like that. Okay, so now we can write a quit, and then we can use the Hydra to crack, and we use uppercase L to specify the usernames dictionary, and use uppercase P to specify the password dictionary, And we need to, of course, we can use the object when find the password by the Hydra, and then it will stop immediately. Okay, and we can specify the service and target information. Let's press enter. All right, I like to pause the video, and then when it's done, I will come back. As you can see over here, the Hydra has successfully retrieved the valid combinations of username and password. So then we can copy the password and paste in my notebook. So then I think we can connect to the target via SSH service. And the username, please don't forget to specify the port number to connect to. And the password, it's done. We are successfully logged in as user Bob. And next we need to do some local immersion to make lateral movement or make privilege escalation. To do, cat to do. So install post fix double quote, write later to the penetration tester, write a script to check the server, create a mine to user to backup important data. I think for security reasons, I will backup important data with the help of another user. So maybe next target for us should be this user, maybe. So now we need to check the home directory and the 3 users, and we can check sudo. As you can see, we can run this shell script as the user, mine to user. First of all, we need to check its permission. So the current user have permission to modify this shell script. So I think next would be very easy. We just, I think we just echo bin bash to overwrite this file. No error. Then we can sudo and use U option to specify the username. And we just copy this command. As you can see, we are successfully switched to mine to user. And we can go to mine to user. And the next, also we can make furthermore local immersion. So zip. So we can elevate our shell to root user without supplying the password of root by manipulating the zip command. However, how to do? We can come to this website to get help. The zip, and we can go to the sudo section, and we can, I think we just copy the command. You can see over here, and then we can run this command. Okay, I think we have already elevated a privilege to root user. Next, I think we can navigate root directory. Then we can get the first flag. Okay, so the first flag would be this one. We can copy and So the flags we can paste in here the first one. Of course, we have 2 additional flags to retrieve. Okay, so next we need to go to the web server and load it. So we must follow the instruction. So we need to know where the web server is. If we check the IP address of the current machine, as you can see from the IP address, we can tell that we are within the container. So next, I think we need to, how can I say, we need to make pivoting. Normally we can use Metasploit to do, right? So how to do? First of all, we need to get or spawn the Metasploiter session. So how to do? We can use ms volume. Metasploiter session. Of course, I need to check its architecture. So 64 is all right. It's okay. So now we can press enter. Then we can launch. Of course, before we do that, I think, you know, we need to check how many containers available on the same network, so we can check whether we can use a map. Even a map is already on this container or inside this container. We do not need to upload this binary, which make things much more convenient. So we can use a map and with option of OS to make host discovery. Press enter. All right, I think the 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, I think this is the IP address of the current container, and the 1 maybe the host, right? So next we can do the surface scanning, and we can use the -p dash, and we want to scan this one. Press enter. We need to find where the web server is. So I think we can copy this information. The container running FTP service and SSH service. Okay. So next we can similarly scan against point 3. It will take a bit time to finish. I believe it's almost done. Then we can proceed. Or I pause the video. So by a map, we can know that this container point 4 is running SSH and HTTP. So next, I think we need to make pivoting. And usually we can rely on the Metasploit to, to make port forwarding. And so then we can access this service from local machine, I mean the Linux. So how to do? We can navigate to the temp directory, upload the Metasploit payload. And maybe I can zoom in the terminal. Vulnhub. And we can okay, I've already done that earlier. Sorry about this. So next, we just what we are required to do is to upload this Metasploit payload. And to do that, we can set up a web server on the Linux. And now we can go back here, and then we can use wget the met. No problem. We need to make it executable. And then before we run this payload, we need to set up a handler by the Metasploit. And we can launch our Metasploit console. And can zoom in the terminal so you can see the screen clearly. We can search, no need, because I use it meantime. We just use exploit multi handler, and we need to set a payload. The payload should be the same as this one. We can copy and paste in here, and then we can show options. We need to set localhost to our Linux. Set local port number to 555. Okay, so we just run it. Yes, handler has started. So now we can execute this payload to get the Metasploit session. So next, I think we can, we can set route, and we can use H option. So we can use S option. This should be the subnet or the target subnet. And so now we can press enter. Then we can set port forwarding at, and use option. We can use the H option to get its usage. And we can use for example, we can use 888, and the remote port number is 80, and the IP address should be this one. Of course, when you do this machine, the IP address will be different, okay, because this is temporarily assigned by the system, by the Docker. Okay, so now we can, with option for R. Okay, so the forward TCP relay has created. So then I think we can open up another tab, and you can run this command to confirm the port forwarding has been set up. So now we can use the browser to access this service on this container. As you can see, there should be website here, but it's still under construction. And also we can check its source code, nothing there. So next, we need to do the directory enumeration as usual. and we can use GoBuster. Of course, we can do this one. However, when I did the machine the first time, even I reduced the threads to 3. Default threads is 10. I think this tunnel, the tunnel for the port forwarding will be dead. It means that, in other words, the Metasploit, this case is not very stable. I do not want to waste your time, so I do not want to run it, okay? So how to do? There will be another way to set up the port forwarding. And so how to do? We can that, we can exit, and now we can, because we have the root shell, and we can go to the root directory, and there is SSH directory. So next, I think we can upload the public key to this SSH directory, and then we can use SSH to connect to, okay? So how to do? First of all, we need to create the key pairs on the Kali Linux, and the command is SSH key gen, and we want to save the key pairs under the current working directory, and no passphrase. Okay, so now we can, of course, maybe we can run this handler and get the Metasploit session again, and because Metasploit can make upload and download to be more easy, right? Easier, sorry, my bad. And now we can go to the temp directory, and then we can run this payload again. Now we can current directory. Maybe we can go to the root directory and go to the SSH directory, and we can upload the public key to this target. Okay, so now we can get the shell and go to the root directory, and then we can go to the SSH, and we want to rename this to authorized keys. Okay, so now we can set up another tunnel. For example, we can use the SSH, and with option of I to specify the private key. And we can use the option of uppercase L, and we can set another mapping or port forwarding, and this should be so the 4, and the port number is 80. Let's press enter. No error, right? So now we can access the same application which is running on the different port number, local port number. Okay, and now we can use, I can open up another tab and use the GoBuster to do the directory enumeration, because SSH is more stable. And I can, as you can see, immediately the GoBuster has discovered the ping directory. Then we can access this directory ping, and the two files. So for Oscar, the web application use the ping utility to check other servers, I think this is more convenient than writing pin in the console every time. So I'll leave this one here, Oliver. So now we can go back and click, and we need to pass or give the host parameter. For example, we can host. Press enter. As you can see, the command has been executed successfully. So here, or at this point, we can make a very reasonable guess. The target or this application, this function is vulnerable command injection. So then we can utilize this vulnerability to get another shell. And to do that, we can, we can set up the listener. So the 666 is not occupied. Of course, you can go to the website like Pentesting Monkey and other websites to try different commands. But I tried several commands, but none of them can work. But this one can work. We can copy Python and we can paste. Maybe I can open another tab, and we need to copy the IP address of the kernel Linux, and I can paste in here. And the port number is 666. Okay. So next, I think before we run this command, we need to check the version on the target. So which Python, press enter. Python 2 is not there. How about Python 3? So Python 3 is there on the target. So I think we need to modify Python 3 to Python 2 to Python 3 instead. So then we can copy this command and paste in the address bar. Press enter. As you can see, we got another shell, and we can run the Python 3 to spawn the interactive shell. But we got an error, which is fine. How about bash I? So next, how can we, now we have already within the web server, we can use IP. Oh, the IP address command is not found. So how about ifconfig? So now web server, we have already got a shell on this web server, and we need to go to the home directory, go to the Oliver, nothing there, go to Oscar, permission denied. So next we can check whether, so terminal is required. We cannot run sudo. How about the find? To find the binaries which has SUID bit. Press enter. As you can see, the Python 3 has SUID bit. Great. So now I think we can manipulate this SUID bit of Python 3 to elevate privilege. However, how to do? Again, we can go to the GTF OBIM's website. So go to the Python SUID bit. So then I think we can copy this command. Okay. So the Python 3 and paste in here. Okay, ID. So now I think, as you can see, we have already become the user Oscar. Of course, this is not real and effective. If we want, we can, can write code and spawn the or use some function for example, like set RE UID to get real and effective the ID or user. But this is not so important. So now I think we have permission to access to the Oscar directory, and then we can get out the passwords. So the password should be Oscar and Oscar. Okay, the password. So next, I think we need to for example, we can run sudo. Oh, sudo we cannot run. And go to the scripts. So current date. So if you run this command, this command again, and this time you will find this binary has SUID bit. And if you run, we can run this current date. So it's printing out the date and the time information. So I think we can use strings to read the readable character of this binary. Current date. We can scroll up. It looks like, as you can see over here, this binary is executing this command. And the very important point for this one is not in the absolute path. So I think we can utilize this point to elevate privilege to root user. Okay, so now we can go to the temp directory. We can echo the bin bash to the date, and we want to make it make it for permission date. Of course, we need to change environment variable pass temp. I think I've already demonstrated this technique for many times. And we can the pass. Then we can go back to the home directory of Oscar and go to the scripts. And then we can run this binary again. As you can see, we have already become the root user, right? And then we can go to the root directory. And then we can get the second flag. Wonderful, right? So now we need to go to the database server. And now I think we can copy this information and paste in here. So next, I think the database server is on the container 2.2, and the next, and also FTP server is available or accessible on this container. Okay, so maybe I can background, or maybe do not. We can navigate. So this one, maybe we can, for example, we can connect to this server. So anonymous, and then we can the folder, and we can get the file text, and also we can get the backup file. Of course, now we just download this file from this container, from this FTP server to the machine of the current shell. We can exit, as you can see over here, this is not in the Linux. So next we can cut out the file, nothing there. Next, I think we need to download this backup zip file from the, because maybe I can check when unzip, backup. So this is password protected, okay? So next, how to download this file onto the Linux? We can utilize the Metasploit session, right? We can background. And we can, so ls, we can go back. As you can see here, we can download this zip file. We can download, backup, no problem. And now we can, maybe I need to open up another tab. So then we can use zip to John utility to convert this file, zip file to hash. And then we can use John the Ripper to crack it. Of course, because I've already made such crack before, and so this machine, the Linux has cache. To display, we can use show command, show option, and then we can get the password, a very simple password. Maybe I can zoom in the terminal. So then we can unzip this file with the password 123456789 and then we can get the creds. So then I think we can get the credentials for this one. Maybe I can put in here. And similarly, we can, we can set up the port forwarding, right? Because this is not directly accessible from the Linux. So how to do? We can use the port or Metasploit to do, and we can use port forwarding at, and with option of L, we can use, for example, any free port number on the Linux, and the remote port number is 22, and the remote host is 0.2, okay? Now I think we can log in to this container, this database server, and we can copy the password. Yeah, no problem. Next, we need to make local immersion to elevate our privilege, right? And there is only one normal user. For example, we can check sudo. No, we can find. Okay. So I think you can find or notice this one screen, because I have already involved this exploit in other videos with other machines, okay? And you can use to make some research, and then you can get this shell script. You can download this script and upload. Of course, I've already downloaded earlier, so this one. Next, we need to upload this shell script to this container. We can navigate to temp directory, because this location where we have full permissions, right? So we can use wget. So we can copy the file name of this script, no problem. And we need to make it executable. Then we can run this shell script. As you can see, we are successful. Very, very wonderful, right? And then we can get the cert flag or final flag. And we can copy and put the final flag. Okay, so that's all I'd like to cover in this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day, please.